Hey Pete, we're going out here to show her how we, this is where I heat my water, or my prescription, and under this thing right here. And this thing gets it up to right about 98 degrees, just perfect. Pete built me this thing. This is my pellet stove. This is the cheapest way to heat your fluid up so it's not cold. That machine that we have, Alice, she really warms that stuff up. We start this at around 7 o'clock, so by the time I'm ready to hook up, finally at 10 o'clock, the water is warm, everything's perfect. It works really good, it works really well. So, and this is where we heat the fluid. And these are the boxes that it comes in. Pete will bring this upstairs when we'll head up there and get ready to do this.
Why do you need to heat it up?
So it's got body temperature, so you don't give you chills when you put it in your body.
The old machine we had to do this with this new tricks here.
Now that one's ready.
Okay.
All right, here we
I'll
go.
go and grab them.
Watch out for the dinosaurs.
Henry!
Yeah?
Look!
Oh crap, I left my phone and book down there too. Pete will bring that up.
Supervisor.
Tell Juju she needs to wear a mask.
I will.
And this is Alice, this is my lover. We put, this is one that does all the fluid transfers and all of that. It's all automatic. This here is great. This one works really well. So, and this is my, I call it my dancing pole. This is Alice, or Trixie. If we don't have power, this is the one I have to use for doing my transfers. So then I'm going to go in here and wash up and get ready to do this. First thing I do is weigh myself. 158.4. Then you turn this thing up, start your timer, and wash your hands really good and thorough. So 2 minutes. They furnish all my soap, all my sanitizers, even my little egg timer. This is my site cleaning fluid. I do that every day. I clean my site with this site fluid. And then I have a salve in there that I put on that site every day too. So anyway, we got our 2 minutes in there. Then you use these throwaway towels. Turn the water off with that, so you don't touch none of that. And then back in here. Ooh. And our machine's ready to start its testing stuff here. We do everything this machine tells you. It tells you every step to take, and this is a normal situation here, and it happens every night. Yes, it did alert me to that. So then I do my next. And then while I'm waiting on that to do its thing, I do my blood pressure. My assistant Pete gets everything else ready. 155 over is 101. Let's try that again. This thing asks you, makes you verify your name. This machine is specifically set up for me. It has all my information in it. It has a modem in there that sends all that information into town immediately as we do this.
Enter your current weight.
158 what?
2.
Oh,
58.2. 4.
Enter your blood pressure.
that's still high. I'm going to try it on the other side.
You're excited about the holiday
Yeah.
movie.
We'll give it one more try and then we'll. Those are my supplies behind Pete there that they furnished me, the soap and all of that, everything with the cabinet and the boxes. Over. $135 over 96. And 98.
Enter your temperature.
$98.2. That's good.
Select a program, then touch next.
And our program is always the yellow. It's 1.5. So we always use the box that has the yellow tape on it. That yellow tape denotes that that's a 1.5 box. And that's what we use. So then we go to the next screen and
Review your program settings,
They-
and if necessary,
all of this is
touch
preset
program
at,
settings to
20.
modify. When finished,
For
touch
what?
confirm.
they expect this machine to do during the night. So I accept that as the way it's supposed to be. So now
Select a
we're
drain
going to do
option,
an open
then
drain
touch
tonight.
next.
So we're not saving the fluid. We do that once every 90 days. We have to save the fluid and save the urine. So you have to save that so they can analyze it and keep track of your health. But tonight we're just putting it down the drain. So we got an open drain, and that's what we get with.
Gather
And
your
then we
treatment
gather our
supplies
treatment
according to your
supplies.
program.
We got our liquid here, our fluid, our solution, and cassette. Then my mask, I got a new mask on, and we got new disconnect caps. Everything's here that we need to do this transfer with. And you always, you can use a little bit of this hand sanitizer to keep things moving right along.
Gather
Yeah.
your treatment solutions according to your program.
And my treatment solutions are bags that are 6,000 milliliters.
Remove bags from packaging.
They're
Lay bags on the table.
6,000,
and make sure
no
bag
leaks,
lines are capped. Bags
clear,
are leak-free.
expiration date
And not
is
expired.
November
Do
23.
not stack bags.
So, and tonight we're doing heparin, so we want to make sure these little things here get pulled out to where they're will work right. So, anyway, we got that right. Now
Open
this is
front
where we
door and
start
heater
with the
lid.
machine. Then you open this is the front door and the heater. This is where you put your fluid bag, your solution bag in there to heat it up. This little thing here is a pump that does all the transfers. It opens and closes valves in this cassette that makes everything work right. So it's just magic. So we got the front door and the lid open. Now we get this.
Remove the disposable set from its package with the blue line organizer on top.
Yeah.
Do not use if the package is damaged.
And you want to
or
make
if
sure
the
that all
caps
these
not
things
in
are on.
place.
This one here is the only one that's just got a cap that just slips on. So then this is your lifeline here. This is the one you want to be really careful with. You don't want to get no contamination on this one. And these other ones are the ones that bring the fluid from the bags to the machine and then puts it into that line and brings it to me through this one. And then this one here is the drain. And it says to
Remove drain line from line
Oh,
organizer and let
got
hang.
that thing right there. And then, yeah. So then the next thing it tells you to do is to close
Close
off.
the 4 solution line clamps in the line organizer.
You
Do
close,
not clamp the patient line.
you close 4 of these here, but you don't clamp the one that, and see my patient line just fell on the floor here.
That's what I was looking at.
So, but it's still got the cap on it. So anyway. Bummer.
You wanna do another?
Yeah, no, let's
You
get
wanna-
another cassette.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime any piece of this
I've never
touches the
seen that.
floor, or you lose control of it, it ain't worth it. You know, that you get an infection in there inside, they're gonna have to go in there and take that tube out and redo everything again, and it ain't worth it. Those things there, you can get some of those. Sometimes you'll get one that won't work at all. The machine won't accept it no how. So you don't mess with it. You just throw it in the trash and get you another one, you know, because they send you plenty of them, you know. And the main thing is you don't want to take any chance on anything happening to you. So anyway, we're going to go back and clamp our lines here again.
Henry's right grip has got real strong from that every night.
Yeah, I don't know how I got that darn. We'll take that out of there. There it is. Go right through there, Pete. There you go.
Hold on. Okay.
All right. Now we got our lines all clamped and all that. So we go to the next show here.
Insert the line organizer in the clip on the right side of the device.
This machine's got a little clip over here on the side. You just take this thing and open it up and stick the lines underneath the table and then that clips right on the side just like that. Then you got your cassette here. You want to turn that thing around and get make sure nothing gets kinked in there, and go to the next one. Insert the
in front
cassette.
door.
Now
And
this is the
secure
cassette.
left and right lines.
And it's got 3 lines going out of one side here, the pump outside, and this is the side that brings it and delivers it and does all that stuff. So you got 4 out of one side and 3 out the other. And one of these is your, this is your heater bag, which we do next here.
Unfold heater
Yeah,
bag
fold
and
this
place
bag.
in heater tray.
And you want
Secure
this
tubing
slick,
and guide, making sure the board
shiny
is not
side
twisted.
up, so you can tell that it's working right, you know. And you bring this thing up here and put it in this little notch. Get that all laid back. Then
Close the front door and heater lid.
See, here's one that don't want to. It ain't gonna
Never
shut.
had that happen before.
Let's see what the heck's the deal is. I got them all in there. No, it ain't gonna shut. And this happens. It ain't gonna shut. It's something else that's,
Like something that's sticking up here.
yeah, it ain't. There it went.
Yeah, it clicked. That's all
Now,
it
if this thing has all kinds of tests on it, so it's gonna start testing this thing here in just a second, so.
Remove patient line from line organizer and place it
That's
in
this,
patient
my
line holder.
line here. And you put that thing in the side here. And here. Goes in like that.
Close the white clamp on the drain line sample port. Remove blue cap from drain line and place end in open drain. Leave an air gap between the drain
Ed,
line and
go
fluid.
in there and watch what he does, and I'll explain that.
We collect it in here when it's real cold outside.
He puts it in that bucket, so it's not just trickling down the drain out here. You have to watch out how you put stuff down your drain. If you just got a real slow leak going down the drain, pretty soon your drain will freeze up. So we catch it in that bucket and then pour it down the drain all at once. It goes out, no problem. So that's what I use for catching it. And the days that you catch it for doing your analyzation stuff, you have bags that you catch it in. So that's a whole different show altogether there. So. And then after we got this thing this far along, right now, well, it's gonna be testing. I take this thing here and lay it up on top of this, and it gets a little osmosis heat from that filling that bag. When that bag gets full of
The
water, it
system
gets
is
hot.
testing the cassette. Please wait.
It's testing the cassette right now. So if that cassette has a problem, this machine will catch it and it won't let me do my thing. We'll have to do it again. We'll have to start it. Anyway, I put that up there. If you leave it on the floor, that first 25 or 30 cc's it goes in there is pretty chilly if it's on the floor. But if it's on that up there, it gets some heat. So that's the reason for that. All right, now we're going to do heparin tonight. So heparin is what I put in my liquid, in my solution here to keep my body from producing a bunch of fibrin that plugs up my. If you get a lot of fibrin in your tube, it'll cease to function, and then they got to go do. They can't just rot it out or anything. They got to go in there and pull it out and put a new one in. You don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
3 times is enough.
So yeah. So anyway, this is bleach that I've cleaned all these ports with, and you got to make sure you get them good and scrubbed down really good. So, and all this stuff they furnished to me, these pads, everything, all these little, everything but the paper towels. And they would do that if I said something, probably, but I'm not going to.
One thing they can't furnish is the view though. Shall I open the door?
This, you scrub this heparin down really good. Then you get your, this is a needle you use to, you always tighten that needle up because they're loose when they come packed. And you don't want to lose a lot of air around that. So. Yeah, 5 cc's of heparin in each bag will stop that fibrin from growing in there and trying to heal that thing up, because that's the last thing I want it to do is get healed up in there. And this goes in the stickers bin. And now we wait, but this thing's got a long minute that it takes for it to, I know, and then you want to mix up your heparin here a little bit. You give this thing a few tsunamis, and that mixes that heparin up in that whole bag, so you're not getting it all in one shot. The whole treatment take about 8 hours. But I hook up, I normally come up here about 7 o'clock and get this thing all, do what we're doing right now, get it ready to go, let it prime, and then I come up and pause it as soon as it gets everything primed. And it takes like 14 minutes, you gotta wait. So we wait that 14 minutes. As soon as that's done, then we hit the pause button, and then that pause, this machine will hold your stuff for you for 5 hours. So you can do this 5 hours ahead of time, which is really nice because that gives the machine time to heat all your fluid up and stuff. We brought it in the other day cold from the garage because we got busy and didn't have any in the house, and it was pretty darn chilly. That thing warmed it right up. By 10 o'clock it was perfect, you know. It won't put it in me if it's not right, you know. That's smarter than I am. Now we've got the test is complete, so the next thing we
Put on
do,
mask, then disinfect
we got our
hands.
mask on, we disinfect our hands again. Next thing you do,
Remove the red clamp line from organizer and
that's the
connect
first
the
line on the
prescribed solution
organizer.
bag.
And it's always got the red, that's always your first line coming in. That's the first bag. And this is where you want to do this as fast as you possibly can right here, and you want to make sure that you don't stick your finger anywhere on it. So you open this thing up, get this out, pull that out, screw that together, and it's done. Then
Remove a white clamp line from
so
organizer.
then we take the white
and
one,
connect
the
to
first white
prescribed
one
solution bag.
on the organizer. You skip this blue one. This blue one, if you ever have to use all the other ones, this blue one's going to be your last line. And you can hang up to 4 bags, I guess, on this machine. So I only use 2 bags in mine, and mine is always the weakest solution, so I'm very fortunate there that everything works good on mine and I'm doing the weakest solution, so. And here we go again. So that, once you get that done, and
Confirm connected solution types, concentrations,
then you
and
want to make sure
values.
that you got the right solution and stuff. You always check that a second time, you know, that it's the 1.5 and it's the 6,000, and you know that's what it is. So you agree with that and go on to the next one. So now,
Break frangible seal on each connected solution bag line,
You
then
want-
unclamp solution lines.
you break these little seals in here, you can hear it click, it's real distinct. You just break that seal, it's a little plastic seal and opens that bag up, and then you open your valves up on your bag so the water can get, or the fluid can get in and out. And now we're getting ready to prime.
The
And
system is
if there's
priming.
anything
Please
wrong,
wait.
that thing will stop and you got to figure out what's going on. So, like I said, this machine is miraculous compared to the other one that we had. I like this one a lot better. It's a lot gentler on the transfers and stuff. I do have to rock quite a bit at night when I'm doing those pump offs to get most of that stuff out, because my torso is longer than most people's torso. That's what they tell me. This machine is
Trixie, no.
this is Alice. I call this one Alice. It's actually from Baxter, is the company that has the machine. They furnish the machine and all the supplies that go with it. Fresenius is the clinic that I go to in Anchorage for all my dialysis needs and stuff. So, and they take really good care of me in there, I might add. We were in town.
Two
Well, we
different
had to
trucks.
break our training up some too.
So we can take the mask
Yeah, we
off,
can
huh?
take the mask off. Now, we had to break our training up some in there, so, but you can go in there and do it in about a month. It was about, we were in there a little over a month, but, oh, you know, no, when I first started this, they told me one of their selling points on it was that they had a little girl over on Kodiak Island that does this. And they said, I'm sure if she can do it, you can do it, you know. So that kind of cranked me up a little bit, you know. I thought, well, hey, you know, this might not be too bad. No, really, I wish I'd have known what this thing consisted of before I ever started. I would have done it long before I did. I fought everybody about it, but I would have done it long before I did if I'd have known it wasn't that big a. It's a big life change, yes, it is, but it's one that you can manage and one that really beats the hell out of the alternative. No, it's a great machine, and I got a great team that takes care of me, including the one that's doing the filming.
Yeah, that's the main one here.
Right.
And how do you feel like in Alaska? Is it doable?
Oh yeah, you bet. You could do this if you didn't have power on the grid. You can do this machine. You could do this with a solar panel. You could do this with 1 or 2 solar panels, you know. This and that machine right there, Trixie, you got things that fit in here that do the same thing as this cassette does, you know, but you got to do it all manually, and then you jack that thing up so that you got pressure on you coming in to put the stuff in you, and then you've got to really pump to get it out of there, because gravity, this machine pulls it out of you, and that thing there just lets it drain out of you, you know. So, and it don't hurt you to have some of that fluid in there, you know. It don't hurt to carry that around. In fact, when I first started doing this, I carried
300.
300 in there every day just because it was comfortable. When I was dry and didn't have any fluid in there, that darn little
Catheter.
snail catheter would move around, and But once it was in fluid, it wasn't, it was tolerable, you know, but when it wasn't in fluid, it wasn't very tolerable.
And how long did it take to be comfortable where it doesn't bother you?
Well, mine was a real rare case, you know, but they had to do that surgery 3 times back to back to get that surgery done right. But once they got it in there and got it right as it could be, it only took me about a week to get over the surgery. That wasn't no big deal at all. You know, my biggest fear during the whole apparatus was not waking up from that surgery or waking up with something else wrong with me. You know, some doctors said, man, well, there's something in there we didn't want to mess with. I can do everything I want to do. You know, like I said, I can do all this thing at 10 o'clock. The only thing is right now, this is that long wait period I tell you about. You got a 14-minute wait period here, and I usually let it get right down to 2 minutes left in the priming cycle, and then I pause that thing, and then everything in there starts doing what it's supposed to do. You know, it warms up that fluid, so when I get ready to hook up to that thing at 10 o'clock, boom, that stuff's 98 degrees. You know, you don't even, and since we lay that up there on that, even that's 98 degrees, you know, so I don't have that 40 or 50 cc's of really cool stuff going in there and then this warm stuff going in on top of it, you know. So, my clinic is all the way across Anchorage from here. Driving is 150, 60 miles.
Or something, yeah.
Yeah, and my clinic out here is 45 miles away from home, where I go to do all my blood work and see my doctor. But I know this machine there, I got an 800 number that I can call the manufacturer of this machine, and they can troubleshoot it from wherever they're at and get it going. And I got a nurse that's on call 24 hours a day, you know, that if I have any trouble at all, I can call her up. And I got a neighbor that lives right across the road here that can be called up any time of the day or night too. So.
And if you have a fever or something, what happens? You just go straight to town?
No, I have that white box right there that's got that white styrofoam box. That's got all my antibiotics and stuff in it, and all the syringes and everything I need. If anything gets infected, I just give myself a shot with that and head straight to town. If I get up somewhere and find that the end fell off my catheter or something, you know, that's what I do. I give myself a shot, I go to town.
To Glen Allen or Anchorage?
I go to Anchorage for that, you know.
Good thing you got a fast truck. But,
So no, you know, you don't want to take any chances on any of that stuff, you know. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it to me, I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a good experience by having to throw that one away, because you will find that if you just do this, we've done probably 4 or 5 of those like that, throw them right
where
in
the
trash.
one line will be pinched or
Yeah.
something and it won't work.
They do get, you know, it's all mass produced, so you do have some that don't work properly when you get them. I don't know what the deal was with that. I have had them where you wipe that all down inside there with that bleach and stuff and then put it back in there again, poof, it just goes right on, you know. It's got so many sensors in it that it's almost impossible for you to get in trouble with it if you just let that machine do what it does. Yeah. You know, we wipe this machine down probably once every week with bleach and stuff, so it's always clean and sterile. But no, everything that is contaminated with body fluid or anything like that goes right in the trash. This machine never touches any of my body fluid. None of my body fluid touches anything in this machine at all. This machine does all of that through that little pump mechanism in there, you know, so it don't none of my fluid ever gets touched in that machine there at all. So, but since it's medical waste, you can't throw it away, and you're not supposed to just, you can't recycle it, you know, you're supposed to burn it and all that kind of stuff, you know, so we burn those boxes and the cassettes, so.
And how long have you been on dialysis?
3 years, about 3
Yeah.
years, a little over 3
A
years.
little over 3 years.
And do you always have a helper?
This is my helper, Pete. Hey, Pete went to town with me and lived in town with me and did all the, he knows how to hook me up. If I become unconscious, he can hook me up if he wants to. He probably will too.
We gotta keep you around for 20 more years minimum.
So, but this thing, see, now it's got the cassette is all primed, and now right now it's filling that 8-er bag. Each one of these little lines on here, as that thing spins around, it tells you what that thing is doing. Here, right now, it's filling the water bag, the solution bag. And if that, and I have had those cassettes get right up to the time you're ready to, we had that one that we were all up to the pause button almost, and
Then
that
it
darn
failed.
thing failed. Because that entry hole in that bag, evidently, when they pulled it out of the mold, it was still hot, and it was a slow drainer, so it wouldn't work. If that thing can't pull so many cc's out of that bag at one time, it says that it's a slow drain and quits. Same thing with me, you know, it'll, if that thing starts alarming or anything, I can set up and rock just a little bit and it'll quit alarming and go ahead and pump more stuff up.
And in the morning, you feel pretty rested when you wake up?
Well, I'm up every 2 hours. I want to make sure that that thing gets the most out of there. I want to make sure, you know, I know it don't work 100% on me, so I have to help it.
Because of the catheter?
Because of the catheter, yeah, because of the way my body's built, evidently, you know. Most people get that thing put in one shot deal and go home, go to bed, and get up. Everything works good, you know. The machine don't even wake them up, you know, because if that don't have any alarms or anything, you sleep through. And I have had nights where I have slept through these and got positive results, you know, at the end of the day. But I want to make sure when I tell you, when that thing tells me in the morning your therapy is complete and gives me that number of that, how much ultrafiltration I had, and it's in the positive, I get the best sleep for about 2 hours right after that. And that happens between about 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock in the morning, you know. No, this thing has got its own suitcase and everything. Anywhere I go, this thing goes on the airlines with me or whatever, and they cannot charge you for carrying this on the airline. This is medical equipment, and they cannot separate you from that on the airlines either. That thing has to stick with you during the entire flight, you know, so you don't lose that. You cannot get this thing in lost baggage somewhere, you know.
What about the solutions?
And the solution, they will ship this solution to any address, USA, guaranteed, if you give them 2 weeks notice of where you want that stuff to be. You know, they'll guarantee it to be there. But not in any other country, but in the USA, any 50 United States, they'll have that stuff there, because they got clinics everywhere here, you know. There's 170,000 people doing Baxter machines. That's what they say.
It's on 2 minutes now.
Well, see, we've got 2 minutes left, and right now it's priming my lifeline there So we get it up here to where it says it's 2 minutes left, and I hit pause, and you see it just jumped back to 3 minutes. But
Does that sometimes?
when we come back up
You
here,
have paused the priming sequence.
and like I said, this thing will hold this position for 5 hours, guaranteed, you know. And if the power goes off, this one here don't have to do a lot of testing and all that stuff. It just gets right on with the program. And
It has a built-in battery
right,
backup.
it's got enough of a battery backup in it that it holds all that information, you know. So the other one, when it went off, you had to make up your mind. Sometimes it wouldn't let you even decide. It just said, no, you're done, you know, that's it. So tonight at 10 o'clock, we'll do the other part of that. So.
And do you get cramps at night?
You know, if you don't keep your fluids up, you'll get cramps in your legs and stuff, because this stuff takes a lot of that
Henry
out
has
of you. But I got water.
Nelchina water down there.
I got
always.
water everywhere you go in the house here, you know. So I drink plenty of water. No, we're doing good. I'm not retaining water, you know. So
Can you still get your fingers around?
Yeah, I've got these good-looking legs. Here, look at that. Put my mask on here and go in there and wash up and do all that. Yeah.
The system is priming. Please wait.
Hey Patrick, you gotta wash your hands for 2 minutes with this special soap. You got an egg timer here that gives you 2 minutes. You gotta wash your hands for 2 minutes. Scrub between your hands and the backs of them. Get your hands really good and clean with a special soap. You do that until all the sand falls out of that little bottle. So it's almost there now. And then you dry your hands on a towel, a paper towel, so you don't use the same towel all the time, you know. People, you gotta keep your stuff clean. Then you use this to turn this off. Get ready for getting in the sack, getting hooked up, and you Oop.
To begin patient connection, touch next.
Then you get this, this is my lifeline. My little girdle. Give me some hand sanitizer here.
Put on mask and disinfect hands. Then connect the patient line to the transfer set.
Then I get me some bleach. This is bleach that I use for cleaning all my stuff. Then you clean this little thing right here.
The Hootis.
That little hootis here. You get that good and clean. This is where my lifeline hooks up. Make sure you don't get anything contaminated there. Tighten that up. Now, and you want to look at my site. Make sure it's good, clean.
Open transfer set.
That's it. Then you open this up. Turn this on. And we're ready to roll. The dance starts. And now we can take our mask off because we're all hooked up. No danger of contaminating anybody now. So, and now this thing's going to start pulling fluid out of me, and you'll see that iodine come down the tube when it pulls some out of there. When it starts pulling it out of there, that'll show that iodine in that tube right there. And it looks like it got a pretty good, probably 10 or 12 cc's come out of there. 23 cc's, boom, just like that. So that's a really good sign there. Everything's working good, and it's pulling another big long line out of there. You see, look at there, 46 out of 67. Holy crap, Pete, we may be in for a record tonight.
Yeah.
67. So.
That cycles all night.
Yeah, well, this it cycles 4 different times tonight. This first cycle will it'll work for up to 10 minutes trying to get stuff out of me, and when it finally gets this notice here, patient slow flow, that means that we're just about at the end of our rope here, and we got 71 now, and that thing is going to turn and start pushing the fluid back into me now.
You can see it going back.
And you see it, fluid's coming back to me now. So we got 71 out of there. That's our initial drain for tonight. And then they'll do this, it'll fill me up with 2,777 liters or milliliters of fluid for this first cycle. And that cycle will last for an hour and a half. Hour and 45 minutes, and then it'll pump it off and do it all over again. We do that 4 different times during the night.
And you record right here
And I
all
record,
the data?
Yeah, everything's recorded right here in this book here too. Plus it all is automatically recorded from this machine here, sends all that data to town. This what we did already here tonight is already at the clinic in there, so when they come in the first thing tomorrow or Monday, they can look up and see how everything went.
So it automatically downloads it into the
goes
system.
to town.
Pretty cool.
yeah.
So this is the fluid, this is the bags right here, right?
This is my prescription right here, these 2 bags. There's 6,000 milliliters in each bag, and it takes fluid out of this first bag first and uses it. And there's a heater in this thing here that's got a heater in it that heats the water up for me. And this door here, when you open it, I'll show you tomorrow, we'll have the cassette goes in there that controls everything that happens with this machine is controlled by that cassette. So.
All right, so now it's just sweet dreams.
Right now, yeah, I'm ready to hit the hay and get some sleep before this thing gets ready to pump off, because I got to wake up for my pump off. Yeah, and see now there's 9 minutes left in this filling cycle. It'll take at least 9 minutes, 9 more minutes to put that amount of fluid into me through this machine. And that's about, if you go to the liquor store and buy those big fifths of whiskey, about 3 of those is how much fluid that puts into me every cycle.
You sound like you're a whiskey
Oh
expert.
man, 3 bottles of whiskey.
That'll put you to sleep.
Yeah, but it's all it is sweet water is what they put in there, and that is actually what does all the magic. That sweet water, the sugar in the water pulls the poison and stuff out of there and cleans my insides out.
No, you used to get the special stuff from Arkansas. It was spring water and maple syrup, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's about it for how you get all hooked up and everything. Now I just get in the hay and get me some sleep.
So good night.
Be ready for tomorrow. Yeah.
It's morning in Nelchina. We're gonna go and unhook Henry's dialysis machine now. That's Henry's phonograph. This is what.
Feet
Morning, Hen.
there. This is my screen that we're finished here. That's what it looks like when we're done. That's on. I need my they're getting better. We had heparin last night, and we got 544 extra. No swelling. Ooh. 97.7. And the Okay, now we go get our weight. I get my clothes so I weigh the same all the time. Take these with me. $155 even. And then okay. Ooh. Dang. Ooh.
Enter your current weight. Enter your blood pressure. Enter your heart rate. Enter your temperature. Deviations occurred. Contact your dialysis clinic or clinician. Close the transfer set. Clamp the patient line. Put on mask, then disinfect hands.
Give me a little bit of that there, Pete. All right.
Open a new disconnect cap. Disconnect and recap the transfer set. The system is emptying remaining solution.
We're done.
Please wait.
Now we gotta wait 15 minutes for that to pump all that off. So I'm gonna go put my pants on, make up my bed, and go down, come back and unhook that as soon as it pumps off. It takes 15 minutes to pump that fluid out of there. So I'm gonna get ready to go downstairs. Oh. It's pumped all the fluid out. The bags are empty. These are empty. So I pull these out, set them up here. Now that's releasing the door.
Open front door and heater lid. Remove drain line from drain.
I always put this thing back in here and push them together so it don't leak. And then I roll it up. And we're ready for next.
Remove and discard the cassette with solution bags and organizer. Close the front door and heater lid.
And then, while we wait on this thing to get ready to shut down, we'll go in there and dump that fluid down the drain. Now we
Touch
just,
the off button to turn off the...
and that turns off the machine. But it takes a while for it to shut down, so while we're doing that, we'll come in here and get rid of this one. There. And we're ready to rock and roll again. This thing will shut off now by itself, so it'll go to the off and it'll shut down, and then we're done. We're done for the night. Get rid of these.
All done.
Done.